when I think of memorable experiences in Israel, I get a collage effect. So I'm just going to give them to you as they sort of come to me. The first was in 1977 as a young minister, and I decided I was going to go to learn something in Israel. And I remember the flight and touching down, and in those days, of course, you got off the plane and you actually touched the ground. You were on the tarmac. I remember that experience, just touching the ground. And I was overwhelmed. I never had such an experience. I've been in a number of countries around the world. What's so different about this one? Everything is different about this one. I remember meeting kibbutzniks, people in the city, and developing relationships. I was amazed as much by the Jewish people, the people of Israel, as I was the land of Israel. Of course, much later in life I learned about the Torah of Israel, Torah Yisrael. That's another issue. I remember the first time I saw the old city, and it was like something coming alive to me. I remember the first time at the Kotel, never forgot it. I remember walking the walls, and in those days in the 1970s, you could really get into a lot of the digs and areas. I remember walking through Hezekiah's tunnel in the city of David, Ir David, and I did extensive touring around Israel and did studies on the historical geography of Israel, and going to places that I'd only read about. Some of them are very off the beaten path kinds of places, and connecting the dots between the places and the people and the purpose of the people in the places. And it became a contemporary realization to me that this has an impact on me and I have to do something. I felt not just a sort of a mystical or a memorable sense of connection to Israel. I felt a responsibility generating connection. Having come to this wonderful place, I had to live differently because this was a miraculous gift. See, some people say, when was Israel established? And I'll tell you, 60 years ago. That's only part of the story. There was a big interruptus. We go back much, much further than that. And to connect those points in time is to give us a sense of continuity. To just only focus 60 years ago only gives us part of the picture. But I remember being in the kibbutzim, I remember being in the schools, I remember trekking the borders, I remember when the Sinai Peninsula was part of Israel, and to go the length and the breadth of the land. But what constantly impressed me, I think more than anything else, was the people themselves. The unity and the coexistence of unity and diversity. Jews from all over the world, Jews from all kinds of backgrounds, Jews from all kinds of persuasions, Jews in happiness, Jews in sadness, Jews under fire, Jews under stress. Amazing thing that's happened, an extraordinary gift that we've been given. We must do all we can to hold on to that gift. In order to do that, we have to really appreciate what we genuinely have. Our Torah tells us that the land of Israel is like no other land. And even though some wish to make it a nation like any other nation, that is a severe depreciation of its true value. It's interesting that other religions recognize that seemingly better than we do. Christians seem to have a sense of that. The Muslims certainly have a sense of that. They very much want to expunge the Jewish presence from that land and take it back over for themselves. If we only had the passion for the Torah that the Christians seem to have, and the passion for the land that the Muslims seem to have, I wonder what kind of effect that would have on us as a people. That is, by the way, that's our heritage. That's where we come from. That's how far we've drifted, okay? In the effort to become a people like any other people, a nation like any other nation, I got news for us. It's not working. But it's not too late. It's not too late. So, people love Israel. People love the Jewish people. We just have to join them and participate in that process with the same fervor and zeal and genuineness and even self-sacrifice. I remember in 1982, I wasn't Jewish yet, all right? In 1982, I was part of an evangelical group. We were under fire from the Lebanon war. And our group didn't leave. Many volunteers left, but we did not leave. Why didn't we leave? Because we love the Jewish people and we said we love the land. A lot of people emptied out of the north because of fear. There were some people that stayed because of love. And I think that's one of the important things for us to recapture. It's called Ahavat Yisrael, Be'eretz Yisrael, Im Torat Yisrael. It's a love of the land and love of the people that stems from the source of the land and the source of the people, which is the Torah itself. And that's the threefold cord, as it were, the chut meshulash, it's called in Hebrew, that can't be easily broken.